Hey everybody, I'm Scott Wikle. You're listening to Sunday Country Gospel right here on mkocradio.com. Got a brand new album that we're going to debut tonight and talk about the fantastic organization that this album is helping to benefit. And the artist that put together this CD called Things Left Undone, his name is Webb Dalton, and he's with me today to talk about this fabulous project and this great cause. Webb, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing good, Scott. How are you?
Fantastic. Thanks so much for taking time to be on the show. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you.
Well, before we talk about this new album, I'd like to get a little bit of your background in the music business and just tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got into this wonderful world of music.
Well, I started when I was 14 years old, and the first place I played was down at Tootsie's over on Broad in downtown Nashville. Mm-hmm. And just kind of got bit by the bug and stuck with it, and then put a band together, and then played around Memphis in the Mid-South, around Arkansas, Mississippi, and around Memphis, and I moved to Nashville and played at the Nashville Palace for about a year and a half, and it's back when Randy Travis was working in the kitchen. I was out there playing, and he'd come out and sing a couple of songs every now and again, and so then I put a band back together out in Nashville, and then started touring again, and I was very blessed to work with some really nice folks, George Strait, and Randy Travis, and Garth Brooks, and Kathy Mattea, Melma Down, George Jones. There's several of them, but very blessed with that. And then I've been here lately. I retired from the Bartlett Police Department outside of Memphis. Had 25 years, and then moved to the Gulf Coast, and live in Perdido Key, Florida now. So,
well, fantastic. Well, the album is called Things Left Undone, and this is an album that is being released to benefit something that I know is near and dear to your heart. And I will let you have our listeners to tell about it here.
Well, it's an idea that came about a little over 2 years ago, and I had lost a few of my friends, close friends, songwriter, musician friends of mine, and to just basically minor health issues. Started out minor, and then they became major health issues, and ended up basically getting to a point where it became fatal. And so I prayed about it and thought long and hard about it, and basically came up with an idea of how to help with starting a charity. And of course, I wore my wife's ears out with different ideas, and one of them came up that I thought it could work, and it seems to be what's going to be able to help musicians and songwriters, and what the charity is. It's called Gulf Coast Musicians Medical Fund. And what we're going to be doing is for musicians and songwriters that play along the Gulf Coast in Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana, we're going to be paying for their minor med office visit. If you have the flu, pneumonia, shortness of breath, chest pains, if they need to go into minor med, urgent care, Gulf Coast Musicians Medical Fund will pay for that office visit, and also go one step further and pay for the prescriptions that stem from that office visit. We're losing so many musicians and songwriters because a lot of them don't have insurance, especially your full-time musicians and songwriters, and they don't have insurance, and $100 to $150 is that's a lot of money. Yeah. And so for these full-time musicians, because that's kind of what they make about that much. Because I've been playing music for a little over 40 years. And I can remember making $100, $150 when I was playing at restaurants and clubs 40 years ago. Yeah. So, and the wages have not really increased from then to now. And so, when you're asking a musician to pay $150 for an urgent care minor med visit, and then pay another $300 or $400 on prescription costs, it's they go without. And so, anyway, just wanted to step up, so we put the charity together. It's on gcmmf.org, and that's one of the reasons I recorded this gospel CD, and all all proceeds from the sale of this CD, whether it be physical sales or digital downloads, will be going to Gulf Coast Musicians Medical Fund.
Hey, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. Again, folks, it's gcmmf.org. We will have that information on our Facebook page as well. The album is called Things Left Undone, and I urge you to go on there and get a copy of this album. Webb, you did a fabulous job on this CD. There's some great standards on here. I'll Fly Away, How Great Thou Art, Old Rugged Cross in the Garden, just beautiful. Tell me Tell me a little bit about the recording of this CD and some of the players on it. It's just such a great album.
Well, thank you. I've been leading music. We have church of all places at the Alabama in Perdido Key. It's a 5-star honky tonk, and we've been having church there for about 7 years. I've been a part of it for a little over 4, and I help lead music. And we normally have 400 to 500 people at each service at the 9 and 11 o'clock service, and I lean more toward the old Southern gospel hymns, and so I grew up on the old hymns. And one thing I wanted to do when I was putting this record together is I wanted to focus on the old hymns, because some of these old hymns, I mean, the message is still as true as it was when it was first written, and of course a lot of them have been recorded thousands of times, but I wanted to record them to where a lot of young people have not been exposed to a lot of these songs, and I don't want them to forget. I want to be able to introduce them to it, and I also want to. It's just like when Carrie Underwood recorded How Great Thou Art. There was a lot of kids that probably had never heard that song, and they probably thought it was a new song when she recorded it. But that song's been out for a long, long time, as you know, and as a lot of listeners know. And so we took these songs and put a little twist on them. And I was born in Montgomery, Alabama, so I was raised on the old Hank Williams country music, and then grew up in Memphis. And so trying to define what Memphis music is just it's almost impossible, because you have Charlie Rich and Jerry Lee and Elvis and Johnny Cash and B.B. King, and I mean, just a lot of great artists. And so I was exposed to all of that. So, but I lean, as far as the gospel music, I lean toward more of the hymns. And so I hope folks are going to like them and enjoy them. And because I enjoyed recording them. We recorded in Memphis, and I used my Memphis band. I have a band out of Memphis, and I have one down here out of Pensacola. And I was, when I was living in Memphis, I was coming down here playing, and then I was also playing in Memphis. So I was using both bands. And so I used my Memphis band. They all were, once I told them what the record was for, they were all, 100% in. And so we got in there, and we recorded at the Grove studio there in Memphis at Hope Church. Mm-hmm. And I worked with a friend of mine. His name's Bruce Carroll, who's been singing gospel music for years and years and years. He's won Grammys and Dove Awards, and just a real fine Christian man. And his wife Nikki, they're good people. But we recorded it, and I've been waiting on. It's a long process, because I mean, we've been pre-selling off the website, but we're supposed to have the records, either the CDs, either next Monday or Tuesday. And so it hasn't even been released yet, but we're pre-selling, and folks are excited. I'm excited, and the folks are excited about getting the record, and I'm excited for everybody to hear them.
Absolutely.
I hope they like it.
Well, we're going to play.
I sure enjoyed recording them.
Well, we're going to play some of those songs for our listeners today, so this will be the first time for a lot of folks to hear this great music. And I want to ask you about the title song, Things Left Undone.
Well, it's funny, because I had learned the song. A lady at church asked me to learn it, and so I learned it. Her name was Dory Faye, and she asked me to learn it, so I learned it and started doing it at church. And anytime I did it, she was sitting out there in the congregation, and she would always give me a big old smile and a thumbs up. And so several months ago, Miss Dory passed away, and her husband Paul asked me to sing Things Left Undone at her funeral. and so I was honored to be able to do that. And so I went ahead and recorded the song, and I wasn't sure what we were going to call the record, but it just kind of came about because Things Left Undone talks about, providing, for those that don't have, and opening your home up and setting food on the table for them. And so it kind of went hand in hand with this charity, with the purpose of the charity is for doing for our brothers and sisters. And so, but anyway, I was looking for something in my notes in my phone just the other day. It was actually, I had put in my phone that to learn Things Left Undone for Dory, and it was on August the 10th of 2015. So
wow.
That was actually the day, 3 years to the day of when our record was finished being mastered.
Wow.
And so I saw that in there. It was just kind of, there's several things to this project that were just, God's hands were all over this project, and just, just like when we were in the studio recording the songs. We recorded 10 songs, and Bruce would ask me, what song you want to do next? What song you want to do next? And so we got to the end, and we were listening back to them and listening back to the tracks, and so I told Bruce, I said, we need to figure out the order of the songs. And because, you want to follow an order that will be a fast song, slow song, fast song.
Yep.
And kind of follow an order to kind of mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so we were sitting there, and Bruce used a big whiteboard with all the electric guitar, bass, drums, background harmonies, dobro, steel, piano, keyboard, B3, organ, and we would check it off whenever we got through with something. And well, we looked at the board, and of course the checks were all they were all filled in, and we were looking at the order, and we all three sat there and looked at it. The engineer John Dolahite and Bruce and I. And he said, that order right there actually is the way it needs to be on the record. And I told him, I said, yeah, you're exactly right. And so the order we recorded in the studio is how it's on the CD. And that doesn't happen very often.
No, it sure doesn't.
This is my fourth record. The first one was back in '87, and it was the vinyl record. And but this one here, it's a special one. And again, I hope people enjoy it, and hope people love it, love listening to it, and feel the need to make a donation to the charity, because that's important as well for us.
Well, we sure appreciate that. And Gulf Coast Musicians Medical Fund is gcmmf.org, and we'll put that information on our Facebook page. And you also have a fundraiser coming up in October for that, right?
We do, October 27th and 28th, and we just announced it, it was Monday. And so we've got the flyers, they're going out, and it's at the Point Restaurant in Perdido Key. It's on Innerity Point, and it's going to be 2 days from 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be bands and songwriters and musicians all day, both days. So we're looking forward to that too, and so it's kind of the inaugural fundraiser for the charity.
Well, great, folks. I hope you can get down there and help out with that. We'll put that information on our Facebook page. And Webb, thank you so much for what you're doing. I think it's a great cause, and I'm really looking forward to playing some of these songs for our listeners today. And I also want to thank Judy Bailey for getting us in touch so that we can help spread the word on this great project.
Oh, Judy's a sweetheart, and thank you, Scott, so much. You're actually the first interview on this, because it's we're just now we actually kicked the charity off August the 4th, so it's still just getting going. So you were actually the first interview I've done, and also it's going to be the first station that's going to be playing our record.
Well, I'm honored.
I appreciate it.
Well, it's my honor, and I'm very honored to be able to do it. And I think there's going to be a lot of stations that are going to line up that want to talk to you about this great project and help out in any way they can. Very worthy cause, and we sure do appreciate everything y'all are doing for this, Webb. It's really fantastic.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Scott.
All right, gcmmf.org. It's the Gulf Coast Musicians Medical Fund, folks. Please check this out. It's a nonprofit to help musicians in Alabama, Florida, Mississippi, and Louisiana. And I can't say enough good things about it. Please check out the website. Get this great album that Webb has released called Things Left Undone. And we're going to play some of those songs right now for you as Sunday Country Gospel continues. Webb, thanks again for being on the show.
Thank you, Scott.
Oh, they tell me of a home far beyond the skies. They tell me of a home far away. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Oh, the land of a cloudless day. Oh, the land of an unclouded sky. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. They tell me that he smiles on his children there, and his smile drives their sorrows away. And they tell me that no tears ever come again in that lovely land of unclouded day. Oh, the land of a cloudless day. Oh, the land of an unclouded sky. Oh, they tell me of a home where no storm clouds rise. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Oh, they tell me of an unclouded day. Life is over, you're reaching the end, and the river of Jordan is around the bend. Will you be counting all the trophies you've won, or will you look back on the things left undone? When a stranger came knocking, did you let him in? Was there food on the table for a down and out friend? Did you hide in the shadow, or did you walk in the sun? Or do you regret the things left undone? Somebody you cared for broke your heart. You let foolish pride, Lord, keep you apart. Why didn't you learn how to forgive someone? So many years passed with things left undone. When a stranger came knocking, did you let him in? Was the food on the table for a down and out friend? Did you hide in the shadow, Or did you walk in the sun? Or do you regret things left undone? Or do you regret things left undone? I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more in darkness, no more in night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Just like a blind man, I wandered alone. Worries and fears I claimed for my own. Then like the blind man, God gave back his sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more in darkness, no more in night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I was a fool to wander and stray, for straight is the gate and narrow's the way. Now I have traded the wrong for the right. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more in darkness, no more in night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow inside. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. Some bright morning, when this life is over, I'll fly away to that home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life is over, I'll fly away. Like a bird from these prison walls, I'll fly. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll just fly away. fly away to a land where joys will never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll just fly away. When I die, hallelujah,